Hello everyone, I finally watched Oppenheimer and I am very happy with the content of the movie. So guys, welcome to my channel Coffee and Movies. Today I am going to tell the story of Oppenheimer. A youthful, splendid J. Robert Oppenheimer wrestled with homesickness and anxiety at the Cavendish Research Center under Patrick Blackett, a requesting mentor, for whom he leaves a harmed apple. Meeting Niels Bohr nearly eats it, however, Oppenheimer stops him in time. Subsequent to finishing his Ph.D. in material science at the College of Göttingen, he gets back to the U.S., driven by the shortfall of examinations on quantum physical science. While also working at the California Institute of Technology, he begins his teaching career at the University of California, Berkeley. En route, he experiences critical figures like Ernest Lawrence, the 1939 Nobel Prize champ who accentuates the significance of down-to-earth applications, Jean Tatlock. An individual from the socialist faction USA with whom he has an on-and-off close connection until her possible self-destruction, what's more, ex-socialist scholar Catherine Puning, whom he later weds. General Leslie Groves approaches Oppenheimer and asks for his involvement in the Manhattan Project, the research and development of the atomic bomb, but only after Oppenheimer assures him that he does not support communism. Thus, Oppenheimer gathers a group of researchers to cooperate stealthily and make the nuclear bomb in Los Alamos, New Mexico, planning to involve it as a way to save the world regardless of the worries about the possible worldwide repercussions, specifically. The risk of the Nazis and their discrimination against Jews drives the Jewish Oppenheimer. At a certain point, he and famous physicist Albert Einstein examine the chance of the bomb setting off a chain response that could prompt horrendous results and possibly the apocalypse. At the point when Germany gives up in the Second Great War, a portion of the undertaking's researchers start scrutinizing its significance. Notwithstanding, it goes on in any case, and the Trinity test is completed effectively just before the Potsdam Gathering. Harry S. Truman, President of the United States, decides to drop atomic bombs on Japan's Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Crushed by the tremendous annihilation brought about by these bombings, Oppenheimer meets with Truman in his office. Oppenheimer's emotional state disgusts Truman, who views it as weakness. He pardons Oppenheimer of all obligation regarding the bombings, however Oppenheimer considers himself responsible. Before very long, Oppenheimer turns into a vocal promoter against additional atomic turn of events. Particularly the formation of the nuclear bomb by his kindred Manhattan task researcher Edward Teller. Nonetheless, his position turns into a disputed matter in the strained environment of the virus battle with the Soviet Association. His apparent left-wing attachés through his sibling Blunt's initial inclusion with the Socialist Coalition, and relationship with Tatlock, draw doubt from government authorities. Lewis Strauss, a senior U.S. Nuclear Energy Commission part, holds resentment against Oppenheimer for apparently sassing him to Einstein in a discussion he sees from a far distance, and freely excusing his interests in regards to the product of isotopes. He takes advantage of these charges through a consultation expected to eliminate Oppenheimer from political impact. Oppenheimer's security clearance is revoked after he is betrayed by Teller and Groves' testimony. The public revelation of his affair with Tatlock and suspicions about his connections to communism cause him to fall from grace, effectively muting his influence. Strauss later is in his own hearing in the Senate for a bureau position at the Secretary of Trade. Regardless of a support from Teller, previous Metallurgical Research Center expert David Slope affirms against Strauss, uncovering his own complaints with Oppenheimer and his part in his defeat, driving the Senate to deny Strauss the position. In later years, Oppenheimer gets the Enrico Fermi Grant from VP Lyndon B. Johnson as a token of political recovery. His previous discussion with Einstein is uncovered to be not about Strauss but rather about the broad ramifications of atomic weapons and the significant weight of information that they bear. Oppenheimer ponders that regardless of the progress of the Trinity test, in the event that they had as it were, begun a chain response that could end the world. He imagines a world obliterated by his own manifestations.